Hello and welcome back to Final Fantasy VIII Remastered Commentary Playthrough. So the moment's come, and we are going to go into the second half of the deep sea research facility here. So I was right. In the last video, I couldn't figure out how to spawn the little tree root that grows out of it in order to give us access to the bottom level. Literally, all you got to do is just kind of keep going back and forth between the room and let it load up itself. There will be a save point here. You can get that without move find, which is great. And then all you really want to do from here is make sure that all your GFs are learning stuff that you really want them to learn, because there is going to be a ton of AP in here. So there's going to be a lot of fixed encounter rates once we reach the bottom level, and nothing you can do. You just have to deal with it and hope you do good at it, you know what I mean? Now, you can go to Cactar Island and, pretty much learn every single GF ability up to this point while we go down there to go get the final one. If you want a better overall start, I guess, to this area. It's not that bad, though. Really, it just bears down to how well you've junctioned to this point. So, for junctioning, I would probably take anything elemental attack and take it off, and try to start absorbing elements at this point in the game. With your status defense, anything that takes away control of your characters, berserk, confuse, getting poisoned, because we're going to face a lot of tri-faces here, you probably want defenses against that kind of stuff, just so it doesn't affect you, going down there. Definitely have at least one character with death attached to their status attack, because a lot of things are susceptible to death down here. Along with pain, so you can get blind, silence, and poison in case anything is weak to it down here. And then, defend against whatever you need to. For me... sleep isn't a big issue down here, but we'll just keep it. And really, neither is stop. But we have other magics other places, so we don't need to worry about that. And then I have two characters with drain on them. So if you want 2 deaths and 2 drains, or 2 pains, go ahead and do that. No undead monsters down there, so if you want like pure invincibility, just use drain as a method to get your HP back. But you're probably better off just using your curas at this point, since we need to get rid of them anyway. And then the same thing, sleep, confuse, anything that will make you lose control of your character or insta kill them. That's where I would put these things. And for me, I'll probably put death. Yeah. Sleep isn't really that big a deal here. Famous last words. Okay, and believe it or not, this is where Card is actually going to shine. So Card, basically acts like a third death spell in this game. So if it hits, we've not been gaining experience because of it, but it also will help kind of get rid of these high level monsters, monsters with high HP, a little quicker than actually straight up fighting them and trying to kill them. For this first part, though, have encounter none on, because you don't want to get into any random battles here. There won't be anything fixed until we get to the actual bottom portion. And then go ahead and just set yourself up in any way that you want. If you know you're going to take a lot of levels, then you might be interested in using some of the bonuses that you will receive at level ups. Have high HP as much as you can. Try to have high HP. Definitely going to need it. For me, I think Squall, kind of taking hits is more important right now, though. But if I had to, I probably would switch this counter with HP if I was hurting enough. And that'll put him up to 999. But I'll just wait to see if I actually do start running into trouble. Because counter's really good. When something hits you, you counter it back, and he'll actually have a chance of inflicting pain. And if he's getting hit while he's charging up his ATV and stuff like that. You know, he can get off a double hit, so it's pretty good. I like it. But have card. Definitely have card for one of your characters that can do it. And if you've been following up to this point, you probably have a gambling spirit. Let's see. Yep, so the Gambler Spirit will also allow another GF to learn the card ability, so you can have two characters with card. You get these through refining the Shumi Tribe card, and I think you need at least 10 of them in order to refine into one of these. So pretty useful. And then I still have all my scrolls and stuff too, so if you need to use the stuff, it's going to make your life easier, then go ahead. I would say to do it, because the next portion after I get the final GF of the game, I'm definitely going to go to Cactar Island and learn every single one of their abilities. So then we will be extra ready. So for this portion of the Deep Sea Lab, you definitely want to have Zell in your party. It is recommended. It'll just make your experience here a little bit better. The draw points are kind of useless here. Take a moment to read this stuff. This is kind of a puzzle. We have to use air pressure units and all this kind of stuff in order to advance floors. If you do mess this up, there's going to be like chaos kind of starts. There'll be red alarms and everything, and monsters are going to get a little bit tougher here. So that can be kind of finicky right there if you're trying to get down. The way that they set up the steps is pretty terrible. So just hold down the right D-pad button, and you'll walk down just fine. So here you want to examine the terminal that's right here. I do like that they upgraded the dolphins in the HD remake. So you want to spend one reserve unit here. Say yes. This will open up door 3. And you see how it kind of bounces away? So it's just like, you know, it's like a ridiculous way to enter. Come down here to floor 3, hit the terminal. And then you're also going to spend just one. And yes. Okay. Come down here and spend one again. And one again. Take the elevator down. And this is why we brought Zell here. Select, well, Zell's pretty good with machinery. Alright, so good on Zell for getting us there. And the whole reason why you wanted to do that is because you want to have at least 10 of those pressure points in order to actually face off against the super boss down at the bottom. So it would be a really terrible experience to get all the way to the bottom floor and then realize that you do not have enough reserve power units to fight the damn thing. So just do what I did. There's other ways to do it, but bringing Zell down here is definitely a method. And if you haven't been using him the whole game and you want to use somebody else, there was actually a door that was listed as 0, and I think it was like on the third level. If you go in there, you'll actually replenish your stock of the pressure units. So that's another method if you want to take anyone else down here other than Zell. Zell will just pretty much open up the door for free. So come through the door. And here we go with the battle-centric place of the entire game. Encounter None is not going to help you here. You're going to get thrust into battles no matter what you do. They're fixed every tile. You'll get to move for like a little bit, and then you're going to get thrown into random battles. These random battles are very tough. This is why I recommend having someone with Death, Pain, and Card, so you can deal with these monsters pretty quickly. Junction yourself well enough to deal with status effects, and try to protect against elemental damage as much as you can. Absorb it if you wish. You can, I have 2 characters with Ultima, so I could switch off Ultima if I needed to, and, as a last resort if I really need to protect myself. But that's not going to be too much of an issue. Alright, we've seen these guys hundreds of times. And that's the basic setup for now. You want to attack, and then try to card, different enemies, different strategies, obviously, but these tri-faces are going to be kind of easy to deal with. So we don't need to worry too much on that end. So now we're just going to work our way all the way to the bottom of this area. Just make sure that you have 10 reserve units before you go down there, or you're just going to have a bad time down there. So walking, it doesn't matter how you do it. Running, it's all going to give you battles. See, that is what I mean by they are weak to death. So Zell has death attached to his attack. And he didn't do the animation like most of them do, where they just kind of like turn red and then disappear. They'll actually just straight up just die like that in front of you. And then no problem with like items and stuff, because you'll be able to use your abilities down here still. So if you need a restock on anything, come to any shop. You have plenty of money. Buy whatever you need to heal those status ailments. I really try not to kill them because I don't want these experience, but I mean, it's gonna happen, so. New enemy imp. So they have a bunch of status magic. And that's exactly what they like to do to your party, you just cast status elements and a whole bunch of magic. So they're actually easy to kill. I mean, that battle alone would have been pretty easy. worst thing they can do to you is cast death, and if you're susceptible to it, then you know you're gonna take it. And just work your way down. Of course. Yeah, they usually cast some magic at the end of their death little thing there. So, hopefully you're guarded against stuff. Odin does like to make a lot of appearances in here, so if you have Odin, he's kind of going to be your MVP. Especially when we start hitting the more dangerous things down this way. And that's what I mean by card being really ridiculously powerful in this area. Because that battle normally would probably take like 2 to 3 minutes, just kind of smacking him around and trying to come up with strategies to defeat it. And you're going to come across a lot of high-level Ruby Dragons down here. So we definitely wanted to get rid of them as quickly as possible. So do not underestimate the card ability. First time we're seeing behemoths. Behemoths are susceptible to death and pretty much can be blinded. I think poisoned as well. We're going to find out here with pain, and then just card them. You can steal some pretty valuable things off of them. They have barrier, teaches Questus, the blue magic mighty guard. Very good spell to have, obviously, with her. And then other than that, these guys, on occasion, they'll kind of cast meteor in their death. And their little death thing. So just be wary. And that's what they really like to do, is they really like to do physical attacks and cast meteor a whole lot. So you could be walking away with a lot of damage in these fights. So try to get rid of it as quickly as you can. Yep, so in that instance, he actually casted Flare in his death animation, so I kind of got lucky with that. Triple if you need it. There comes another. Yeah, you're coming away with levels down here. Another Ruby fight. So continue your way down. Just keep healing up. Don't leave no room for chance down here. That attack is really bad. Every now and again, check on these dudes because they're going to start learning some stuff you don't want them to. Now, Iron Giants got lucky there with Odin. These guys have a lot of defense, so the proper way to deal with them is to use Meltdown, and then that absolutely kills their entire defense. Wow. Alright. Like I said, Odin, MVP here. Even though he is giving me a lot of levels. Oh my god. That's got to be a new record for me. I've never seen him spawn 3 times in a row. Okay, once you reach the bottom of this hell pit, whoever has a siren, this is her moment to shine right here. This is exactly why we grabbed her at the beginning of the game. It's so that she would give us this move find ability. We use move find aplenty, but this is probably the most useful area she's ever had the ability for. So if things go wrong here, you are actually able to restart from this spot instead of going all the way from the top and fighting all those things all over again. So just make sure you have Move Find learned at this point, which you should, because we've had Siren since pretty much the first disc and on. And the basic strat against this super boss is to just kill it. Cast your Meltdown, make sure that it hits, and then spam attacks, and then keep everybody alive. This is kind of a battle of endurance here. So no real strategy other than Meltdown and using anything you can to kind of pick yourself up. GFs can be a little bit of a help if you need like some kind of a shield. This thing has a nasty move called Pillar of Light that will do 999 damage no matter what. So you know, if you're not properly set up, I mean, this dude hits one-hit KOs basically. But when you're set, there's really nothing worth stealing off of him either, and I would not suggest stealing. Just take his 100 Ultima drops that he's going to give us, because we're going to be able to turn that into 100 Ultimas for our third character. So hopefully he came down here with 10 pressure units. And make sure you have draw. You need draw at least on one character. That's the whole reason why we came down here. Alright, this is Ultima weapon. First thing you want to do right out the bat is draw Eden. Eden is the final GF in the game. You can stock those Ultimas if you want, but I would just get this thing dead as quickly as possible. If you have an opportunity to start spamming your limit breaks, go ahead. And we'll see if this hits. So good. And there you go. So now we'll be hitting for a lot more damage. Gravija is absolutely terrible here. Take your shots at him. And I actually don't have him set up too well. Oh no. It's very possible one can die here. Yep. So I was kind of hoping Lionheart trying to get it. And there you have it. So that is Eden, the final GF of the game. You can actually pull Eden off of another boss, which I consider probably the easier way to do that, in the final chapter of the game. So, you know, this is just an extra challenge down here. This guy just gives you 100 Ultima Stones, so you can transform him into 100 Ultimas. And by way of doing that, you want to have Forbidden Magic Refine learned from Bahamut, which he probably should have learned on the way down here. And then you can turn those into, you know, your 100 Ultimas for your character that doesn't have them yet. So just an easy way to do it, I guess. And then with Irvine having that ability, you know, now he's going to be able to absorb magic too. So we're overpowered, right? We're really good. Everything's looking great. Heal yourself up after that nasty battle. Let's take a look at our new GF. Eden comes with speed, evasion, and hit junction. So just fill them in as needed. This is pretty much where you kind of get wild with it, and from here on out, learn every single GF ability. Go back to Cactar Island and just go kill a bunch of Cactars until you learn all the GF's abilities here. It's really, really easy in the remaster since we have the ×3 option. And if you want to use, you know, the power hand and all that stuff, then go ahead. It doesn't matter as long as you get this all learned. So speed, evasion, and hit. Speed, evasion. So preferably somebody who doesn't have Cactar. I usually just get him to Squall, because why not? Devour is actually a really funny ability. It eats monsters, and there'll be like this little scene, a really crazy sound of someone eating something, and then usually it'll tell you like, oh, the monster tastes great, and it'll give you something, or it'll taste bad, and you'll get some detrimental effect with it. I'm sure it has its uses, but I don't know. I used to use it when I was younger, but then I kind of found that it's not the greatest thing in the world anyway. Triple is probably the best magic you can put into the evasion, other than Ultima. But Ultima fits, you know, well in the magic defense department. So I'm going to have all this stuff kind of changed up in the end game. No point to junctioning anything for his hits. He's been able to hit 100% the entire game. And that's the DC research facility, all wrapped up. Every GF has been collected. All legendary weapons have been made. You can go ahead and put Move Find back on. And yeah, that's the real key strat with all that, is just to defeat it as quickly as possible. You don't want to sit there in a long battle with the Ultima weapon, because it will wreck you, you know. You saw he did the Gravija move. Luckily I didn't see Pillar of Light in that one, because that one would just wipe you out completely 100%. Squall did gain a lot of levels though. So that could have been really bad for you, or it could have been really good. But again, if the monsters are too difficult, just use level down. Level down, level down, level down. And then everything will become much better for you. Now we have a free run all the way back up. There's going to be no more random encounters here. So if you were trying to farm those curse spikes for the dark matter here, you want to do that before you start making your way down here, because the Tri-Faces will spawn in that first area almost religiously. So, you know, get it done. By the time I actually return, I'm going to have all of these junctioned to a GF, because now I'm going to have my 3-man party, which I kind of dictated for myself to be Zell, Squall, and Irvine at this point. And I'm going to use them until the end game. Which they aren't bad either, because, I mean, their limit breaks are awesome. Especially Irvine. Irvine's been kind of MVPing, you know, low-key MVPing here. This is the door that I was talking about on floor 3 with 0. So if you actually pop in there, when you have to put in a certain amount of pressure, though. I think you have to put the highest amount of pressure with 4, and then this door will open along with this thing. And once you get 0 to open, you'll be able to refill your stock of air pressure. So if you didn't bring Zell along, that's another method. Other than that, if you mess it up completely, he's what are we running into? A bomb. I'll actually draw something from him. Spell that one meltdown we lost. Get out of here. You can also draw meltdowns from Galas, those white manta ray looking creatures. Or you can refine their stuff for it too. I think you get it in status. I'll say status magic. Let's see. Yeah, there you go. So their mystery fluid will turn into 10 meltdown. So you mean use meltdown. It is not a hard spell to get back. That thing is going to save your life. It's pretty much how we approach every boss from here on out. That's the strategy, right? Meltdown and then, you know, heavy hits. Pretty much kills everything in this game. And if that's not fun to you, then, you know, well, play just a magic run if you want. That's also fun too. You can do anything you want with Final Fantasy games. That's the best part about them. There is no wrong or right way to approach these things. Alright, well, hopefully you found that useful, at least the part with Zell. Maybe you learned something there, I have no idea. I know back then when I went down there the first time, it was one of the most miserable experiences I've ever had. Because I just wasn't junctioning properly, and, you know, I knew I was very excited to find it, because, you know, when you're a kid, you're just kind of flying around, and then I came across it having no idea what this thing was about. And then never even knew that there was a second section for a lot of years, actually. And then, you know, over time started looking up things about the game, and I was like, wait a minute. What is this place? Why is, you know, I knew there was Bahamut, but what the hell is the second option here? What, you know? Because I always pulled Eden from the fourth disc, and I thought that's where he was only located at. So knowing that there was a second part to it, it kind of blew my mind. And I was just like, man, how many more secrets to this game are there? You know, and this is what made me fall in love with this series. So, you know, there's a lot to do. You know, on the outside, it kind of looks like, oh, you know, whatever, quick story and all that kind of stuff. The story doesn't make sense, but I mean, there's a lot of fun to these games. You know, a lot of strategy battles, turn-by-turn system. You know, timeless system that's never failed. Still used today in a lot of the games. So, you know, it's just good old time. So we've acquired all the GFs, and what I'm going to do now is train them until they learn all their abilities. And then whoever is lacking on certain abilities that I might want, I'm going to go ahead and use those rewards that I got from the side quest I've done. And don't worry, there are more side quests to come. We still have Windhill, the alien side quest, Chocobo Forest, Oval Lake, and I want to say that's it for the side quest that we can do in the game. Just make one last loop around here. Yeah, as far as I remember, that's... Oh, and then this one little section, I forgot to show this off, because I wanted to wait until we got the Ragnarok ship. So we've been to Dalit a couple times already, especially to get the Timber Maniac and the Siren card. So if you go to this guard, if you just keep running into him, he'll fall asleep. Or whatever happens there. Then kind of run your way back over here. Back up towards the communication tower. you'll get some random battles, weak monsters though. So they tried summoning another spider. Here comes another one. One fell down the mountain and the other one came up here. So just a little silly thing, I guess. I don't know. But you're never able to go back to the communication tower, so that's a nice little tidbit right there. So thankfully this playthrough isn't like taking ages to get done, mostly because of the ×3 option here. A lot of people actually like, I don't know if you like it or not, but it just helps, you know, speed up some of the slower parts of the game, especially like the running animation. So, you know, like without it, this is as fast as we're moving, you know, because the game's trying to catch up with all the details that's in it. And this is like the quality of the PS1 back then. So with ×3, you know, we're just jetting. We're getting to where we need to. We're making the points known. It's a long game as it is. You know, there's no reason to make it longer, in my opinion. With all that said, I'll see you guys in the next part, and we were going to have a fully trained GF squad when I return. So thank you for watching.